You start.
I start. No, you start. You're like the best.
No.
I like hearing your voice. It gets me in my mode here.
It makes you pull out your phone.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. It's July, and I'm here with Gerardo. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Molly? It's been a while, huh?
Well, yeah, it's just getting a little warmer and warmer by the hour.
You know, the only thing that was cooling me off, somebody turned it off. Thank you, Takashi. I had a fan behind me.
I know. Well,
I guess it was making too much noise.
Noise pollution. Pollution.
I get it.
We got to bear it through the heat. But hey, we ate lunch ahead of time before this episode, so that's a start.
Yeah.
That's a start. Maybe a little sleepy. Maybe a little sleepy side. But I'm super excited for our guest today.
Who's our guest today?
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe put on your glasses. Oh, who do we have over there? We've got Hilary Fitzgerald Campbell.
A Yankee.
Do I say all the names?
I never know, honestly.
Yes. We just know you as Hilary.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fun-loving Hilary.
That is a really, really hard one for me to say, to be honest.
It was hard for me to spell when I was little. I never spelled it right.
No way.
Yeah.
Hilary or the Fitzgerald? Oh, yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Maybe just put an F, like in Scott's Fitzgerald. You're Hilary F. Campbell.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? German?
Irish.
Yeah.
Irish. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Go
Little
for it.
synopsis.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
just
ready to
say
hear
it,
it.
and I'm really just reading this off of our website. But you know, I know it's always weird when I kind of know the person. But Hilary Fitzgerald,
Yeah, that's
maybe
good.
let's just do that instead. Is a New Yorker cartoonist, author, comedian, and filmmaker. You debuted your book, Murder Book, which was awarded the best graphic novel just last year. No, 2022.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is anymore.
You also have another book coming up, which I can't wait to talk about, The Joy of Snacking, which will hit bookshelves pretty soon here.
2025.
That'd be a book that I want to get.
Yeah,
I
think you just got Gerardo's attention.
Yes.
You also have, which I
buying it.
didn't know, is a few short documentaries. This Is Not the End and Small Talk, which won awards at the top festivals in the country. And before going on to become Vimeo staff picks. Love it. Well, Hilary resides in New York with her dog and a vast collection of Law & Order DVDs. She's a Sonoma-born artist who is very excited to return home again and share the world of cartooning with students, which brings us here and you here because you just got done with stop motion animation camp. Mm-hmm. And before that, cartooning camp. Mm-hmm. And a couple of cartooning for adults,
Workshops.
right?
Yeah, we have some more coming up.
And there's more coming up. This may be out by then, but
We'll
the
find
next
out.
day of...
Is it July 22nd?
Oh,
Or is it
yeah,
the
we might be
21st?
just around that time
Yeah.
of letting it out. If not,
That's okay.
you come back and visit.
Yeah, I'm here all the time.
And it's so fun. I know that half of our staff is going to sign up for your next cartoon
I know.
network.
That'll be a fun class.
It's going to be super fun.
So you live in New York?
I do. I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Brooklyn.
So you love coming to Sonoma. You weren't born here. So.
Yeah, I was born in Petaluma, but grew
okay.
up like 4 blocks away.
Do your parents still live here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone's here. My
What's the
buddy's
change?
here.
You know, you go to the Bay City and then you come here and it's like, damn, so slow.
I like both. I
Yeah.
always say I really like both. I love New York, and then I love it here, and then I go
I
back
feel
to
like
New
you
York,
really
and I
roll
love
it.
New York, and they're obviously like complete opposites. But
Is this like your vacation? Like coming to
yeah,
Sonoma?
this is.
coming
I
to
know.
get
I
away?
was like, I don't go on vacation. This is my vacation.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, how long have you been in New York for?
Almost 10 years.
Wow.
Which is wild.
As a
And then-
resident?
Yeah, that's like crazy to me. And now I think I've been teaching. I was trying to add it up in my head walking here 4 or 5 years. I can't remember now.
Right? After COVID.
Yeah, or in the middle of COVID.
In the middle of COVID. Oh, because you started doing some online
yeah, I did.
classes
Yeah.
when we did
I
that.
think so, right? I don't know. My
I don't
memory
know.
is already
It's really
failing me.
Blurring
rollerblade,
together.
I love to rollerblade.
Yeah, I've seen you at thing like in the plazas once
Yeah,
in a
I
while.
have,
your
like,
rollerblades.
Bright blue and pink rollerblades.
Nice.
Oh, man.
And I go to my nephew's baseball games. I roll around.
I got a question. Is the streets safe for rollerblading here? in
That's
Sonoma?
I rollerblade here because I can't rollerblade in New York. I would
No
have
way.
like a death wish.
Man, I had a whole itinerary. I'm
Of
like,
what
this
we were
is the
gonna
way
talk
we're
about.
going to go.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. But so let's just jump into the fun part
Yeah.
because I was going to ask you
about rollerblading.
best place
suck,
to
man.
rollerblade
Well,
And-
Lexi of the community center,
Yeah.
that
She
was how
rollerblades too?
that's how
Lexi
we
Bakar.
realized that's how
Yeah.
we realized that we were going to be best friends. We had like just met when I had talked to her over the phone a lot 'cause she was the person who hired me originally. And then I hadn't met her in person. Then I came here and we just got along so fast. And then like the second day I came back, I was like, I just ordered these new rollerblades, and I showed her the picture of them. She goes, I have those.
Yep.
I was like,
Nice.
oh no, are we going to hang out?
And then you two rolled down the farmer's market.
We do.
In
You guys have
your
a group?
wild wear.
It's just me and Lexi.
Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
I know there's a group out there that rollerblades. I've seen them in
I'm sure.
in the skate park. Bunch of guys and girls who just like to rollerblades there, show their moves.
I appreciate you owning it because I come from the skateboarding crowd. We always called them fruit booters. But
Oh, I've never heard that, but that's kind of, I'm fine with that name. Fruit
love it.
booters?
You know,
Yeah.
the first time I tried rollerblades,
you know, it was like the antithesis.
I
of
was too
skateboarding.
heavy and I broke my ankles, both of my ankles.
Ow.
It was
What,
terrible.
Skating's
Ow.
hard.
Yeah,
That's awful.
I know. My mom wouldn't pick me up. She's like, drag yourself to the car.
Aww.
I spent my whole summer in bed. That was terrible. I tried to do that over a Maxwell before they fixed it. You know, a long
Yeah.
time ago. I'm talking about like,
Yeah.
you know, like 18 years ago or
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It
a
was
place
terrible.
to skate, really.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
mean,
different
it was
now.
so
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. No, it's all
do it there.
fancy over there now,
Super fancy.
which is nice. I'm not like against it. It was like, whoa, looks great.
of course, we have the bike path too. How's that?
Yeah, I
for
roll it
skating?
in. That's what I do because we
That's
live
rough.
off the bike path. No, yeah, there's parts that are like newly paved and there's parts that aren't. So
Yeah, because it has to be like a smooth surface, no?
it doesn't have to be. It's just more of you get a vibration throughout your body if it's not smooth.
You get a little jump in there.
All right.
Okay, yeah, best place to get around.
I think
love it.
so. I could rollerblade in New York, but I'm too scared.
So when you do cartoons, what kind of cartoons do? You never do like animation or something like that?
Well, yeah. So I can teach like rudimentary animation. I'm not skilled in any type of computer animation.
Oh,
I know how to do hand-drawn animation.
nice.
I learned hand-drawn and just the basic skills at UC Santa Barbara when I was there. And there was a while I thought I wanted to go into animation as an artist, but then I realized I don't like to draw that many pictures.
What?
There's too many
Did you-
pictures.
I remember, yeah, it's a lot of pictures. I
It's way
remember
too
my
many
brother
pictures.
making those little flip post-it books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you
Right?
have to repeat doing the same thing, just different
Over and
over and
over
over,
and
just
over
changing
and
a little bit, right? So
over.
it looks like it's moving.
And I also don't like computers, so it's like I know
Isn't it better,
I
though?
could be right. No, I'm saying it's like
Faster.
yes, it is, but then I'm always like, get me away from those things.
Wow. Wow.
Absolutely. It's funny that you taught our stop motion, and it was awesome though.
Well, my co-teachers Matt
Yeah,
was
he's a
great
whiz.
at the computer part,
I love
and so I
having
can
a-
talk about drawing and motion and that kind of thing. Ironically, in college, my college job was teaching editing on Adobe Premiere, which is, I don't think I really should have been doing that job, but it was my job.
That just showed you what you weren't going to do once you got out of there.
Not this.
So you went to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara.
I know. My nephew now is starting to look at colleges and,
My son wants to go there.
oh, yeah.
UC Santa Barbara
It
or
was a great school.
UC San Diego.
Great. Yeah.
So,
So I graduated from Sonoma High in 2009. And for me, I was so afraid to leave home, like just beyond terrified to leave my family. I think I only applied to like 3 schools. I know he's like, you wouldn't do this today because now it's like so hard to get in. I mean, it was hard in 2009 too, but it was like I either got into like Santa Barbara or Irvine. I was like, well, I'm not going to Irvine. And so I went to Santa Barbara, but like the first year, like I wasn't happy about it at that point.
yeah.
I was like, how dare you guys make me leave my precious home?
Oh, you didn't just go to Sonoma State instead?
I know. I'm surprised I didn't
must have
because I was
did
such a
pretty
homebody.
good
Eventually.
in school.
Eventually. The first year I sobbed.
Yeah, right.
I drove home every weekend.
Aw,
I was like
for Santa Barbara.
hysterical. And my sister was the same. My brother, of course, was like, bye.
See you later, man.
Yeah. Never
Bye,
coming
buddy.
home.
Can I keep your car?
Yeah.
Exactly. Isn't it funny how much we changed
Oh my
in a
God.
short number of years?
It's crazy.
Because New York is no small,
I know.
and
I don't know what
you're
I'm
no
doing
small
there half the
person.
time. I go, what? How'd this happen?
It's amazing. I lived there briefly.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I lived there for a couple of years.
Oh, I guess we have talked about this.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't make it 10 years. That's pretty good, girl, because I couldn't stand it after a while. Just like,
Where
it
were
was
you?
mostly the winters. I was actually
Winter's horrible.
living with my aunt out in Long Island.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then I would come in the city and
Sure.
work and dance when I could.
of course.
10 years, I mean, those winters, after the second winter, I was like, I
They're
kind of
horrible.
miss the open skies of Sonoma.
I mean, I
So-
don't like winter at all.
Yeah, you're just like,
I
on-
fight
on
it.
the subway.
I fight it to my core.
Yeah.
I try to get out. I'm not happy. You know, you got to get those sad lights. Anything to just like.
But you got that
Extra
Christmas
vitamin
though. Like
D.
I do.
Christmas
That's the
feeling,
thing.
though,
That's
you
the
know?
part I like. So December's
Yeah.
okay because you have the lights and you see a Christmas show. And
Yeah.
I love the Rockettes.
it's usually like late extended spring.
No, that's when you go overboard. And that's a lot also when a lot of New Yorkers start going to like Miami because they're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no way.
I cannot be here.
It's that transition. Well, one thing I noticed that you do on your fun social media Instagram, you take a little break and you just dance it out,
dance.
girl.
I love to
You're a
dance.
dancer too.
I'm a big
See?
dancer.
Wow.
I love it.
I love dancing.
You just did some like dance performing too, right? Were you part of a show?
What am I doing?
I don't know. I just remember kind of seemed like it was a Christmas thing.
Oh, I
And
was. I
you
hosted.
were-
Sometimes I dance at the Slipper Room in New York, is a famous cabaret bar
Excellent.
that's been around forever, and I'm like so honored whenever I am there. I'm obsessed with that space. Yeah. So it's funny. I always tell my nephew, I go, no one talks about how I started the dance team at the high school.
What?
You
Where's
started
my
the
statue?
dance
Where's my
team?
plaque?
Where?
do
Where?
you
At
want-
At the
Sonoma
high school, there was
When?
not a dance
There
team.
was
What
not
year
in
did you
I was
graduate
so
there?
mad
2009.
Oh wow.
because
There
I
was
was
no
there
dance
before
team.
that, and there
There
was
was
no
no
dance.
dancing?
No dancing when I was there. Because I would have definitely joined
You would
the
have been on the
dance
dance team
team
hardcore.
for sure. Because I was in Miss Taylor's. I
We
don't
had
know
to
if you were
fight
in
for it.
Altamira, Miss Taylor's.
No, I went to St. Francis.
Oh, okay. So Miss
fancy.
Taylor was an
Fancy.
English
I know. I
slash
hated it.
dance teacher.
I hated there.
Yeah.
Personally,
Anyway,
sorry.
that's amazing. Now look at it. You can take it as an alternative to PE, I think, in second year.
Oh,
and
I'm so happy. It's really?
Yeah. I'm
That's
actually
so
looking
great.
for teaching assistants. And I should reach out to dance.
That's so great. I'm so
Assistance.
happy to hear that. Me and Allison
That's what
Whitney.
I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Allison Whitney, we had to fight. We had to do so much paperwork. Gloria Albertson helped us with everything. They wouldn't
my God, I
they wouldn't
remember
recognize
Gloria.
us for anything, and we were like begging, like why? Like we had enough girls,
Yeah.
and we all wanted to do it, and then finally, it must have been maybe the end of junior and into senior year, we got it.
So now it's a big like the
Now it's
dancing there.
I mean, I see them in the parade too.
There's a department. I know they're for Meredith Reagan. There's a different person that leads it up, but everybody was
Maybe
doing
your
it.
name is in a little tiny word.
Yeah,
there,
they
you
put
know,
it
like-
really
You know
small
what?
font.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make ceramics. Maybe Lexi can make you a trophy.
I want
and we
one.
can just have a random little heist and
Oh
go
my
down there and just
God.
attach it next to the dragon.
Yeah,
Maybe
get
you
me
can
in
be
there.
up there.
I'll
Maybe
be
we
up
can
in
get
the
a
in the
group of
mouth.
people and we just go in front of the office like we want to nominate her because she was building your dance class here.
Yeah,
We make a riot, you know.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
think in front of the dragon, we just have
Yeah.
a little.
God, what did
Hilary
they do when
as
I
a
was in high
ceramics-
school? Someone
Yeah.
put like a keg up there.
Oh yeah,
Somebody,
that was not there.
Some seniors.
That wasn't there when I was there.
Senior
so-
pranks. Remember senior prank week?
No.
Oh,
I don't either.
What?
I don't have seen.
Oh.
You guys
I don't
had
even
those?
remember high school that much
it
at all.
wasn't like
anyway.
nice.
I was.
It wasn't
I
like a
was
nice
fighting
time.
for my life when I was there. So
I
you know.
hated it there too.
Yeah. It was,
hated everything.
It was under construction when I was going there, so I couldn't wear anything white because it
Oh,
was so
yeah.
muddy. They were just constructing everything, doing all the constructions. It was terrible.
I
I'm
was
so
there when there
old
was
that
this big
I'm before
flood,
that.
and we like
Yeah.
lost all our classrooms for like a year
Oh,
after
that's
that
exciting.
flood.
Yeah, you guys didn't get a pool. We got a pool. I got
I
like
didn't have a
1
pool.
year pool.
Oh, I had swimming.
was it.
We had the first pool. I was there.
Oh, 'cause now there's
this
that
is
new pool.
totally weird. I'm so old. I had the first section of the smoking section.
What?
Well,
There's
there was a smoking section.
Get out of here.
And it was
Molly.
over by the theater.
Oh,
the
now
little-
that's some cool
What?
kid
And-
energy like you've never
yeah.
heard.
You know how many
You
times
just
I had to
forge a
throw away
note.
my cigarettes?
Oh my god.
And
So it was terrible.
the Dragon's Pit was still across the street
Wow.
too. Yeah, wow. I'm not
I
old
used
or
to go
anything.
underneath the creek, the bridge that was underneath
Yeah.
the creek. You know,
We did too.
I used to go in there and smoke because I couldn't
know.
smoke anywhere else. You know,
Don't do it, kids.
Don't do it, kids.
Yeah,
Don't-
it's not worth
You
it.
don't look cool, man.
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
Now
So
thinking
what
about
you
it,
think is cool in high school, it just turns out to be. Just
it's
take a
so
You just
take a
smell like an
walk in the
ashtray.
park.
It's so uncool. I remember a boy took me out later in high school and he like drag raced and I was having a meltdown in the car. I was like, get me out of here. And he thought he was being so cool in
Cool.
front
Out
of
at
me.
No.
Sears Point?
No,
Oh,
he was just like
this
on
is on the
8th Street in the middle of the
Oh,
night. I was like,
the
this is
H Street
a
Boys,
this
you
is
know,
a
they
this
used to
is a
have a
death
thing.
wish.
Was
Yeah.
he Mexican?
I didn't like it. No, he wasn't.
Oh,
They
like
that
drag
kind of
racing.
happened one
Yeah.
time too. I think
I don't like
was
it.
in that.
Oh, I don't like going fast.
Now, well, speaking of old spots,
Yeah.
okay, so when you were at school though, like early on when you were at
because
school,
I want to talk about my
what's
old
your
dance
best?
studio too. Oh.
What's the best snack? What'd you guys have for
Oh my
snack?
god, my best
the
snack.
snackers.
Remember, like there was the 4 cookies, or
You know
you'd get
what?
like
I used
Doritos
to
on a
get-
bagel.
Yeah, that's what I used to get. Cream
Yeah.
cheese with Cheetos, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Cheetos.
good. Well, I can't have anything spicy because I have the inner workings of an 80-year-old. But okay. Oh, there's so many that come to mind.
Yeah.
Remember when we had TCBY, the frozen
frozen
yogurt
yogurt?
place, and it was over by Happy Dog, R.I.P. Happy Dog.
Oh my lord! For
My
a minute,
childhood,
yes.
my
What?
dad,
It
my
was
dad
there,
would
huh?
drive me over to TCBY, and I'd just be beside myself with excitement.
By Happy Dog?
Yeah, there was it obviously must have been short lived,
Oh, man.
but it was
crazy.
there.
So I used to eat a lot of burgers from that place.
I love Happy
I
Dog.
worked there. I still have my T-shirt, guys.
You have a T-shirt. I'm so jealous. I would like pay money for that.
I cut off the sleeves, which was a bad move. I didn't know I was going to age.
Oh, too
I
bad.
always tell the story where I went in there and tried to order 2 double cheeseburgers for myself, and the guy looked at me. He's like,
He's like, no.
"For you?" I'm like, "Yeah, for me." He's like, "No, one burger." I'm like,
They were I loved them, and they were so judgmental.
yeah.
They were just so
I
funny.
worked for them.
Yeah, well, you know,
I
obviously.
also worked for
don't-
Mr. Smith, who had it before that. And I think
Okay.
I've
Wow.
shared that before, how
That's great.
the,
I
the
just
management
loved it.
went on strike against Mr. Anyway,
It was
they were
the,
nice
the,
people, though.
the best,
No, I
like,
loved
clean
Happy
kitchen in
Dog.
there.
Yes,
It was
Yeah.
so
yes,
clean.
they were.
It wasn't before they bought it. I'll just let you know
Oh,
that.
okay,
But
good. Well, that's what
verified
that's
by the
their
fire
I just
legacy
department.
is how
remember the
clean it
guy
was.
flipping those burgers, but he took his time. He was,
Yeah.
he was a
yes.
master on that burger.
No, I dream about Happy Dog. And my mom used to go to Happy Dog probably almost every day. She continues to be devastated.
Should we go
I
over
know.
there and do a
I
riot?
still-
And
Like,
I'd be like, bring it back. There's no, where are you
Bring
supposed to get a
it
hot
back.
dog?
Why don't you get it, Gerardo?
it's too small for me.
It's
Really?
It's too small.
Because the outside's still beautiful.
so
I
hot.
know.
It's the most beautiful building with its
I
little
know.
doggy.
I got to repaint some of that
Oh,
dogs
God,
in
that's
there.
fun. I
Who
also
bought it?
used to
Somebody bought
eat.
it, though.
Did
Somebody
someone bought it?
Somebody bought it, but never did do anything with it. Everything's in
building.
there.
I hope it
still.
wasn't
Yep.
like the bad people. It wasn't them, was it?
No, not the bad
Maybe.
people,
Okay.
right? Well, the bad people's plan fell apart.
That's
so
fine.
maybe-
But as long as they didn't buy it. Okay, no,
I-
but I also used to eat those cheese breadsticks at the Basque.
Oh, yeah.
The twisted cheese. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Boulangerie. Yeah, they still have them. Cheese
Oh,
sticks,
sure.
Right
Yeah,
here?
the cheese sticks.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
cheesy
I know
breadstick.
what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was before the cheese sticks, but
Yeah.
I worked at Vella Cheese, so
Oh, good.
it was
You know
just
what?
cheese and
My
bread.
favorite spot was Grandma's Pizza.
I think about it all the time.
It was delicious.
the best pizza
buffalo
in the world.
Chips. You know, you remember the buffalo
So
chips?
good.
Yeah, of course.
It was just like
Oh my God. No,
dough
that's
with
what we had every
spicy.
Friday at St. Francis.
Yeah.
And I have never tasted pizza like that anywhere else in my life.
No.
And they took
They
that. I know
screwed it
because
up.
they took that recipe with them.
Yes, they did.
I know that it was the grandma. And then I've heard this story and I'm going to butcher
They
it.
were my neighbors.
Right, because something they
The
had to leave
Calhoun,
town.
or
They had to leave
the
town,
Cahoons.
right?
Yeah. It was, I think it was a
was
young
Cahoons.
Asian.
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
it
and
was.
then the guy was white, I believe.
Yeah,
And
he was a
left.
Cahoon, and I knew his whole family. And it,
Yeah,
I
he
half
was
of
my
love.
them.
neighbor.
Oh my God, my whole absolutely. I looked forward to that every Friday.
Me too. I think they screwed up when they tried to do the Italian in the
Yeah.
back, you know?
Oh, that
They could've
room.
just kept- yeah. It was weird.
And that was the era where you expanded, and sometimes it didn't work for everybody. I worked for a flower shop, and I thought they'd have another flower shop, but there's no way to sustain
maybe
two flower shops.
But the pizza was amazing.
That pizza's
the personal
so good.
pizza, small ones,
oh my
for $5 or something.
$5. Now, did you guys? Oh my God! What? It's not like we just ate lunch or something.
I know.
I'm still hungry.
Wait, I didn't,
I will have
though, to be
definitely
clear.
a grandma's pizza, right?
I would eat it all, is all I'm going to say. I would eat it all. I mean, obviously, Mary's breadsticks. I ate a ton of Mary's breadsticks.
Oh, that would be super good. You
We talk
sound
about
like
bread. I think bread is our
Bread's our main
weakness, I
thing.
think, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
I like bread and cheese and like
it's not
The
our
sugar.
fault that French bread is just the best.
it's so
Is
good.
here.
Is it?
You know, it is. I don't
It really
get French
is.
bread back in New York like that.
No,
But
New York's
other stuff's
has
good.
different,
They have bagels.
different. Yeah,
Bagels are
it's
delicious,
the bagels.
though.
Can't
Who
eat
was
them
the
anywhere
lady-
else anymore.
Who was the lady who brought me bagels from the trash and trash? You remember?
Deborah Rappaport, the queen of trash.
She brought me some
Deborah
frozen
Debris.
bagels, and I'm not kidding you. I left them to get them, in my table, and they were like 4 days, and they were still soft.
I know.
Yeah, so good.
Bagels in New York they're freaky.
You get the bagels here around here, and then it's like 30 minutes after you get it out of the chop, it's like a
Stale.
brick.
I still like
It's
them.
the
I
water.
still like the
That's what they
bagel
say.
shop.
No, you still no,
But
of
yeah.
course, but like it's the water in New York. That's what they say. You have different water. Everywhere
Could
you
be.
go.
It's in the water.
It's in the
All
water.
right. Going back, let's just jump all over the place now.
Think of other snacks now.
When you were snacking and being a teenager, did
Uh-huh.
you work at movie merchants too? Is that kind of
No,
like
I
how did
actually
you start?
just took classes in the back with Scott.
Tell me about it. Tell us all about.
Oh wait, and I love Scott, and I'm blanking on his last name. Oh my god,
We love you, Scott.
Scott. Shoot. Oh, he's gonna. If he hears this, he's gonna be so mad at me because. So he went on. He worked on like SpongeBob. He has like Emmys.
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah, you should talk to Scott. I
But does Scott live here?
I don't know if he might just live in the Bay Area now, but he's from here. So he came back and he taught me cartooning in the back room. This sounds weird.
Movie merchants.
Of movie merchants. There was camps and classes back there that my mom would take me to.
That's amazing.
No, I wish I worked at movie merchants. That sounds cool. No, that's part of where I learned to draw.
Wow. Did you grow up kind of doodling and drawing?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so mad I don't know Scott's last name right now. It's like horrifying.
We'll
to
put it
me.
in the blurb. You
Okay.
can add it in.
I know.
Scott, if you're still listening, we'll just put your
so
whole name in the
upset.
blurb.
Yeah, I always drew. I actually found a list I made when I was like 6, and it's like, I want to be. And the first thing is cartoonist. So that's really funny.
Yeah.
Because then I obviously didn't always think that. But yeah, I always drew since I was little. My grandfather was golfing buddies with Charles Schultz.
Okay.
And yeah, no, it's like wild. And
Fancy.
I know. So we grew up, my family, with all these originals, which we still have around the house that are like, whenever he stopped by, he'd just like do some great drawing and then like write, for Lori, my mother, or for Sherry. And like my mom from a very large family. She's in Los Gatos. It was where she was raised. So we had, I know I love Los Gatos. Well, I haven't been there in forever, but my childhood, I remember it. But anyway, so I just grew up with all these cartoons and I just wanted to draw like him really badly. I also wanted to just be Snoopy, I think, because Snoopy is a
Right?
great dancer.
He really was.
He's such a good dancer.
I mean,
Hilary,
his feet never even touched
Sorry
the
to ask
ground.
you, but what color are your eyes?
I don't know, honestly.
They're so cool.
Thank you.
They're like yellow.
Sometimes they're
greenish.
green.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're
When I see it
brown.
from the side, it's kind of like yellow.
So they're
and I'm like,
hazel.
It is what people call hazel, but I get this question a lot.
yeah, I don't feel that bad then. Asking.
Don't feel bad because they do look yellow sometimes.
Yeah.
The girl with yellow eyes.
I'm like
Vampire,
very like
you know.
sort of cat-like. But anyways, I would say I really learned to draw by copying. I would get Peanuts books and I just try to copy them all the
I think
time.
I did that with like animals, cartoony looking animals, just because, I mean, really you're first dealing with shapes, right? Just
Yeah, it's
getting
all
some
shapes. It's still all shapes.
yeah. I guess that basic doesn't ever
Never
go
goes
away.
away. It never goes away. So I did that, and then Scott taught me a lot of classes, and then Gail Manfrey was one of my teachers.
Kill.
I love
Scott.
Gail. Scott.
What's his name?
I know.
Last name?
Terrible.
That's
And,
okay. Was that like high
Janice
school?
Kobe.
Okay.
And then obviously Mr. Tuttle.
Mr. Tuttle. That's so funny. His drawings are up in the bagel
I
shop
love Mr.
right now.
Tuttle.
Is
that's
Owen
great.
Tuttle?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
he from
I'm
the
like,
high
oh,
school?
this is interesting
Yeah.
perspective.
He was my art teacher It was me and Phoebe Tillum. By the time senior year, we had gone through every level of art.
Phoebe.
I love Phoebe
Yes.
as well. And finally, by senior year, we were in what we called independent art with Mr. Tuttle.
That's exactly what my path was.
Yes.
I came back to the high school after continuation high school, Hotwater High. And that's it. I'm taking art twice a day, and I just lived in that room.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing at that point, and I don't know if they would let you do this anymore, was independent art. It was you left.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Really?
Yeah, you
it's
weren't.
true.
It's not that I wasn't making art. I was making art at home. He was like, yeah, just show me later. I'm like, thank you.
Nice.
No, Tuttle was great. And Phoebe and I still talk about how much he made us study bones and how appreciative I am now that I know all the bones.
Oh, really?
Because it actually is really informative when you don't want to be drawing realistically, that you still understand the shape of the body and the way it moves.
Yeah.
And because I think I spent an entire year trying to draw, he would force us to draw hands over and over again.
Right. Hands and feet are
But
apparently
now it's
the
like,
hardest, right?
I'm happy that he did that.
Mm-hmm. Hands and feet. That's where it's at.
Oh my God.
So-
But yeah, he was great.
Santa Barbara.
Santa
after
Barbara
that,
after
right?
that. Yeah. I went there for film.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know. I think it's so hard at like 17 or 18 and you're applying and they're like, what do you want to do? And you're like, I don't.
Sure.
I like movies. Like, I'd been writing a lot. I'd say I loved writing and
You
I
have that
loved
patient,
drawing.
huh?
Yeah, I love to do all those things. And then my mom loves movies, and I feel like a lot of my childhood was just learning about old cinema with her. And I still prefer to watch really old movies, but
Like how old?
like the 40s and 50s.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Black and white ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
My brother does that thing. They're black and white. And you're like,
Talkies.
can you not? You can handle it. It's black and white, but you're
Yeah,
going to be
I
okay.
like old movies too, but
Yeah.
not so old. I mean, I like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
Yeah, no, I mean, I love
Those
it
are
all,
70s.
honestly. I
Yeah.
love
Those
are
70s.
Pretty
I
good
love
movies.
60s rom-coms. I love the wild films of the 70s.
What year was the To Kill a Mockingbird? Was that old
That's
too?
got to be in the late 50s, right? I think so. I'm not gonna
I think
really
so.
get that right, but
I know the book more, the
Yeah.
reference more than the movie.
Yeah.
I think the late
reference.
50s. But
Nice.
Harper Lee.
yeah. So I think it just, when it came to apply for college, I just was like, well, I guess I think I want to go into movies, ?
But when you were done, like,
Yeah.
here you
I know,
are.
What did I do? No, I did so many things,
You still do.
and I still do. And
Which is your favorite cartoon of all time?
of all time. Okay, there's two of them that come to mind. There's a really old Peanuts cartoon it was when it was called Little Folks, before it was officially called Peanuts. And it's a single panel, and it's somebody that kind of looks like he's going to become Charlie Brown later in his career, but it's an early character that looks like Charlie Brown. And he's talking to someone that kind of looks like Lucy. And he's holding a tennis racket like in front of his face, so the center of the racket's covering his face. And he goes, "Don't you remember me from the night on the screen porch?" And I just think it's the funniest thing in the world because of the shading.
Screen, I get it.
It's so silly. And the fact that they're children being like, "Why don't you remember that night we spent together?"
Yeah.
It's so funny. So that's one. And I have that pasted above my desk back in Brooklyn. Well, I have a ton of cartoons on the wall, and then another really, really favorite one. It's so absurd. It's not going to come across with me butchering it, but it's an Ed Steed cartoon who's been a cartoonist at the New Yorker for much longer than me. And it is a person reading a book called Coping with Ducks. And then you look back in the window and there's a duck staring at him. And I just think it's so insane and stressful. Like, how long has that duck been there staring at him that he had to get the book? And that I think goes down for me as one of the greatest things I've ever seen drawn. It's really simple, but that's like Ed Steed's work. He's so simple and incredible.
How did you get involved with the New Yorker? Like,
Yeah.
did moving there come first, or
It did. Well, so-
sending out
yeah.
cartoons to publications? What was that kind
Well,
of
after college,
trajectory?
right? After college, I moved to LA. I worked in film.
Okay.
I ran the Slam Dance Film Festival, which was out in, or still is. Oh, actually, no, this year they're moving to LA. Anyways, but for years they were in Park City, Utah. And I somehow became the manager so fast. And I was like 23 and I was having a nervous breakdown because the pressure of all these, the whole festival and these people's like careers.
Right. You're responsible
and it's such
for
a like, you know, you'll find in most festivals, like it, even if it looks great, it's all a ragtag team in the back, as most things are. So it was incredible when I worked there, and I had way too big of a job for how young I was. But I met so many great artists and filmmakers and writers that when I realized, they asked me to become the full, I'm going to run the whole thing. I was already the manager, and they wanted me to have whatever type, the director. And I had a nervous breakdown. I spent a week like hysterical. My mom was like, you don't have to do it. And I was like, I think I do though. They asked me. And I just said like, I can't do this. Like something inside of me is telling me I can't be managing this anymore. Right before that too, I had worked for Ed Helms from The Office, and he's a lovely person.
Nice.
And I also worked on a Lifetime movie.
Yes, and my husband's favorite.
Yeah.
In the day.
God. Yeah, right. I worked on a Lifetime, and I was doing all these things, and I just was like, it probably came out of left field to everyone. I was like, I think I want to draw cartoons, which is a real crapshoot of an idea if you ever want to make money.
Right.
Like you're like, I'm sorry, what do you want to do? I think I want to draw cartoons. And I had started,
especially I would imagine when in our mind, cartoons are leaving papers.
Yeah,
like,
I know. You're
papers
like,
are
what's
barely
your
there.
Thought process here. But also, it was when Instagram had just started to become a thing. So that was when, like, I had just seen for the first time, like, Liana Fink's work in the magazine and her Instagram, and all the just interesting, strange art she was putting up, and she was like becoming so famous. And I was just looking at that and what I had just been doodling in my diary when I was just avoiding work. And I just was like, I think I want to do this. The cartoonists always say that like you're either a writer that becomes a drawer or a drawer that becomes a writer. And that's cartoonists are usually people that are trying to do both all the time. Because I love writing, but I need to draw with it. And I love drawing and I have to write with it. But anyways, luckily my parents were like, okay. I was like, ha, that's a crazy idea. Truly, I tell you, I had a nervous breakdown, and my friend was like, what if you moved to New York? And I went, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah. I had never been there. And like, you know,
just
I could
decided
be, here's the thing,
visit,
I can be a little manic sometimes and do things like this. And I just told my family, I was like, I'm moving to New York. And my mom was like, okay. And I did. But I knew everyone from Slam Dance, from the film festival that I had been running. I knew all these artists out there already.
Yeah.
Not that they were all like my best friends or something, but
you had a place to go.
There were people there, like two of my friends moved as well, one from LA and one from UCSB that I'd known a long time. And I really lucked out with like, I can trace like every job I got since then was somebody I met at Slam Dance had handed me off to somebody else. So they were just such an incredible community of artists to know. I got there and I didn't know the hell I was doing, obviously. I eventually found like some waitressing gigs and some nannying jobs. I remember I sat in this meeting at the Moth, and they wanted me to become like a director of some programming there. And I love the Moth, and I had already been volunteering at the Moth for years.
Explain what the Moth is to most people that don't.
Oh, do you know what the Moth is? Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, God. Well, you guys have a podcast. I thought you'd be like so in on radio.
Well,
okay, the Moth radio
I do,
hour.
but most people don't.
Okay,
they get it this far.
No, that's great. You'd love it.
Right here when I was
Yeah.
a kid, so.
Okay. The Moth is a radio program.
Okay.
Where people just tell. They call it True Stories Live. That's like their logo or their slogan. And there's the radio hour version, which is like the curated version of like, these are the best stories that have been told around the country in the past, month. But I worked at the Moth Story Slams in Los Angeles, which is basically like an open mic situation. They're every Tuesday, and there's like a theme, and it's a really loose theme. It could be like lost, They're like, just be like one word. And people that are like, well, especially in LA, they're all writers, right? Or they're all like comedians. If you win a story slam, then you get moved on to a grand slam. And then this is how you could end up on the radio hour. But I ran the front door, and I helped Gary Buckler, who still runs the story slams in LA. And I loved it. And I used to tell stories there too. And I just I ate that up. I think that was like also me like not admitting I wanted to be doing stand-up.
Which you are right now.
Yeah, I've been doing stand-up since 2018, maybe?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's exciting.
What was I saying? Oh my God. It doesn't
Anyways,
matter.
you were
the
New
Moth.
York.
You're thinking about Scott.
The Moth.
I know. What's Scott's last name? No, I was just, it was
Scott's
this
last name?
moment like in New York. I was just so lost being like, I know I want to draw. I don't know how I'm supposed to make money. How am I going to do all this stuff? And at the time, like my films were doing well. So I was like, what? I'm so confused about like next steps. And then I was just looking for any job. And then there's this position at the Moth that was some sort of managerial, I can't remember what it was. And I went into like the Moth, like main office in New York, and I had this great interview. And then the woman looked at me and she goes, Hilary, I will hire you, but you're like creatively on fire right now. And if you start working here, it's going to ruin it. And I was like, is that thing where I was like, I mean, thank you, but I don't know how to pay the bills right now.
Yeah.
And I just walked out of that like, thank you, but what do I do? And I think it was right after that I got a job to illustrate this book called Feminist Fight Club, which really helped me separate from waitressing.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyways, it's a great book but I'll just never forget that interview.
That's a great one. And you listened to it, even though it was scary.
I remember my mom
called.
I called my mom after, and she goes, "Yeah, but you have to get money." I was like, "I know,
I know
what to do." Oh, it's really funny though.
And then the New Yorker came calling?
I think at that point maybe I just started. I submitted for a year.
Okay.
Every week before I sold one. Some people you could submit for years. It's really hard. Yeah, this all must have been around the same time because the Feminist Fight Club
you were
thing,
creatively on fire.
Oh my God. It's so funny.
You still are.
Thank you. I submitted every week for a year under Bob Mankoff, who was the cartoon editor at the time. And yeah, he wouldn't speak to me in the meetings. He would just kind of look at my work and throw it back at me. And then you'd have to be like, I'm coming back next week anyways.
Every week, huh?
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's really hard.
In person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like an audition.
To your face. You just sit in silence with him.
Huh. That's
Unless he he didn't like me at that point. But yeah, I had to like prove myself.
When did he?
He's gone now.
Answer or talk to you?
I remember when Feminist Fight Club came out. I walked in, I had like, it was like, must have been the day the book came out. It was a huge book party for it because it was like HarperCollins published it. So like, they're a really big publisher. And I had a tote bag that said Feminist Fight Club. And I walked in, he was kind of like, oh, whoa, don't fight me. And I was like, what? It's typical, right? There's a lot of stories, obviously, about my first days at the New Yorker that these are just not have anything to do with the actual New Yorker, the institution of the New Yorker.
Right.
But like they don't do this since COVID anymore, which is really sad. But I just find my way into the office and figure out which room it's in that the cartoonists are all meeting, and everyone's a freelancer, right? And so you don't know who's there, and kind of looking around like, oh my God, like is that who I think it is over there? There's like total legends in the corner, and then there's people like me that's like, huh. And the first day I walked in, this guy who I've never seen again, don't know who he was, don't know what his art's like. He walked up to me, and I must have had a dress on because I just wanted to, I love dresses, whatever, but I wanted to look nice. And he goes, "You're a cartoonist." And I was like, I think so.
Right.
Like, it was just such a like, wow, here's all the men. It's not like that anymore, but several years ago, it was so daunting. And then having that guy say that to me, I was like, what? Why would you say that to me? But it was just so ridiculous. But I've never seen him again.
He's on his way out.
I know. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. It took a year of submitting before I sold one.
Gotcha. And is it still, you say it's a little differently this time. Does it come from just everywhere? Or do you kind of have to be there in person to submit?
No, you don't need to live in New York.
Yeah.
Not to say there's not like an advantage.
Right.
Well, also, this is back when there were in-person meetings. Now that there's not in-person meetings, I don't know what any advantage would be.
Yeah. It seems like I kind of miss that.
I miss
in-person hitting the pavement. I'm very sad about it. Hitting the pavement in my bad little dress with $3 to get from uptown to downtown New York. It's like, or just super grassroots marketing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not like that anymore.
No, it's really a bummer.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer. Also, I feel bad for the newer wave of cartoonists that I just haven't even met. Like I normally would have met if they were like in the office, but like
you don't really get to build that kind of rapport.
No.
And that's what must make it exciting to be more in the live theater performance
I
as
love
far as
it
comedians
all.
and stuff,
I
because
love
you
it all.
do get that.
Yeah, I want to see
feedback.
people. I think I like not all cartoonists are like as like social as I am. I think there's
You're
like
social?
I got to see people, man.
Yeah?
I got to see people all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
I really like to be around people. I don't know. I come from a big
Cartoonists are not
family.
social at all?
There are cartoonists that are a little more like, I think the stereotype is like a very nervous
Sitting.
person who's reclusive and sitting in their office, which is I am sometimes, you know. But I also am like, I love to be around people. That's where I get my ideas from anyways. I need to talk to people.
Right. You
All
gotta
the
draw 'em.
time.
How different are the people like they do animate? You know, like the...
I know. I don't actually know very many
No
animators.
way.
I know 2. Now I'm like, so that's not a big enough pool to have like
Seems like you got to be in front of that computer screen a whole hell of a
Yeah.
lot more.
You do. And yeah, that's something I'm really trying to avoid like not that I can avoid it, but I just would love to be away from computers as much as possible
Yeah.
because they make me
getcha.
sad. But
What?
the
Yeah.
screen,
I'm with you.
it's a screen. My eyes hurt.
I got to get out of that room half the time.
Yeah.
Wait, we're all over the place
Yeah,
right
we
now,
are.
but
That's
I
okay.
do want to talk about what you have coming up, which I'm excited for. You have a new book coming out called What Did I Do Today?
No, that's out.
That's
What?
out.
You mean The Joy of Snacking?
The Joy of Snacking.
What Did I Do Today is a journal you can get anywhere. It's a journal that came out.
Did you
This is maybe just an
produce
old
that?
bio or
Could
something.
be.
What Did I Do today came out in 2022.
And what is it exactly? It's an anti-productivity
journal. Well,
How
I
come
just
I've
think
not
I
done
hate
this?
all these like self-help books that are like, you need to do more. It's like, no, you don't. Andrews McMeel, my publisher, put it out. It's like a journal that's about recording what you've already done and thought rather than saying, I need to do more.
I love that. I mean, I have a list within list
Yeah.
every day. You know,
You can also get it. There's like then
Stickers?
five below. Yeah.
I need this.
Yeah, it's great.
I need it. Okay, well then let's
The
talk
Joy of
about the
Snack-
real book, The Joy of Snacking.
Snacking.
Joy snack.
First
I
of
was
all,
just
best
working on
title
it before
ever.
I came here. Yeah, I'm trying to finish it.
You haven't finished it?
No, it's coming out allegedly spring 2025.
What's it
Okay.
about?
It is about obviously food and snacks.
Mhm.
Okay, we got that. I would say in general, it is about women's relationships with food and their bodies and love and family. And family.
No, man.
No, there's men. No. But I'm writing it about me. So
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not a man, famously.
Mm.
So it's about a lot of different things and the way food affects us emotionally. I
Oh,
think
I
that's
get
the
it.
overarching theme of the book. But there's also like silly recipes in it too. So it's sort of all over the place, just like me. Yeah.
A recipe. I was up in Idaho last year, and they have the Ola Ladies Club, and all these old recipes that were like a can of mushroom soup.
Oh,
all
those are
starts
so
with a can of
hilarious.
mushroom
Yeah.
soup, and
Or like everything has Velveeta
exactly,
in it.
they're all husband came home late soup. Whatever,
better.
everything that had a funny title.
Throw
and
it
just
in the
a
oven, honey.
ridiculous thing.
I'm not a cook, if you're wondering. It's like I do not cook.
That's why it's snacking.
Yeah.
Like snacking for me is heavy. Mexican people, we do like to snack a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes I enjoy like Ruffles when I'm driving. Like
You
I
like
know.
Ruffles?
Yeah.
I love Ruffles.
The Korean ones. Remember the ones I've been eating?
I know. I just tried them
barbecue
for the first
Koreans?
time last week.
They're addictive.
I always
know,
like the
like-
sour cream and
For
cheddar
some reason, like when I was
Yeah.
driving to the airport with my family,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to get a bag of Ruffles. So I used to stop at Safeway and just get a bag of Ruffles and eat them when I was driving.
Do you remember when you put bugles on your fingers?
And you have
What?
fingernails.
Remember the bugle fingernails?
Absolutely.
I never.
I would
You
do
gotta
it with
find out
black
about
olives.
that. Oh,
Black olives.
it's
I'm
a
like,
little
don't
more
worry.
Edward Scissorhands of you.
Oh yeah, well, there's a part of me that does do that, but yeah, snacks go back to like when you're young. I think that kind of develops your like snacking to me. Seems
I was a
like you're
really
feeling
picky
something.
eater, like legitimate. I took me a long time to like not be afraid of food. I had a really big fear of food,
Yeah,
and I just have like a nervous breakdown if someone told me to eat something. But also, the book for me is like looking at how like the term snack used to be this like really shameful thing, when it came to like, you shouldn't be snacking, you shouldn't be eating too much, you shouldn't be, you know, like the early 90s, and like 2000s, and like that's like a dirty word, is like to have a snack. You know, like it's like, oh, you shouldn't eat between meals like that. But to me, I actually don't eat meals. I eat like 40 different snacks.
Once you have kids, let me just tell you, as a mom, it was many times it was snacks for dinner. Because kids love a good snack.
That's all I want. But also, like, what is a snack to like? A snack is anything,
right? But snacks in my version are like,
it's like I just
cheese
ate
and crackers.
Sure.
I do a lot of
little
fruit.
vegetable. You love fruit, but nothing I gotta like throw and cook and produce.
I eat bell peppers like they're apples.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can you believe that?
Yes, probably. I should believe it.
That's pretty good for a person's
I've seen people eating like tomatoes too. Like, I don't like tomatoes that much, you know.
Oh, but heirloom tomato. I don't like a vine tomato. I don't like that. This is funny because my nephew is actually texting me about buying me snacks.
That's
and he can't find the thing that I want. Do you guys know about bitchin' sauce?
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with it.
Which one?
Yeah,
it's called bitchin' sauce.
Oh, I think I heard
it's
it.
Like
maybe
different dips and that kind of stuff. It's a great graphic.
You know what? That's most of my diet because I can't find it anywhere in the East Coast. By the way,
right.
So when I'm here in the summer, I eat bitchin' sauce with bell peppers.
So it's bitchin'?
Yeah, bitchin', yeah. And I like the original flavor, but there's like a ton of other flavors.
It's
out. They come up with some really cool names out there.
It's good graphics too. I like all that.
Like barbecue, best barbecue in town. Makes you want to slap your mama.
Oh, there you go.
There's one that's called.
Yeah, that's a great. What's the bread that's made by the?
Oh, the killer bread?
Yes.
Dave's Killer Bread.
That bread's so good.
Is it?
I really love it.
You like it? Okay.
I'm a big fan of the bread for sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
It's a sandwich bread.
There you go.
That's super funny. What is the best place to grab a snack? So you're going for bitchin' sauce.
I really love
some bell peppers.
Bitchin' sauce. What do I eat?
She's a snacker.
I am. Again, like today I've already had like so many different snacks.
I eat snacks too.
Gerardo basically makes us a meal, and I have offered nothing to these meals ever except for fruit snacks. But the best thing I can do.
But you see, Hilary, they're not used to my meals because Mexican, we like to eat big breakfast, big lunch, and big dinners.
I can't do that. I have acid reflux, and I have polyps all the way down my esophagus and into my stomach.
Like,
advanced stages. Here, I got some GERD, but yeah.
Breakfast is like, a toast with like a bread,
I literally
you know?
can't. I will throw up. It's like a whole problem. I have an inflamed esophagus, apparently, like permanently.
Yeah.
You should feel really bad for me.
I am.
No, that's why. That's
also
get
why
her some bitchin' sauce.
Yeah, well, he can't find it. My nephew Johnny can't find it, so
I think it's at Whole Foods.
Yeah,
probably Whole Foods.
I saw it up in the corner where like the tofu and stuff up next to the. Anyway, I've seen it there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, what else? We're excited about the joy of snacking, obviously. Yeah. I'm excited you're here.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing some stand-up comedy gigs.
I was at the Punchline in Sacramento, and then I did a show in San Francisco at the Boom Boom Room, which was fun. And then...
How's the reaction out here? Is it different than a New York audience?
Well, it's different everywhere. Yeah. No, it's definitely different, but also every audience is like...
Yeah.
Any night you get up, I don't think you can really.
Audience.
You can't really
try the Sonoma one.
I know.
At our comedy show.
I don't really want to know, honestly. And then I'm doing a thing at Roach Winery. Now I'm forgetting the dates on everything. I'll put it on my Instagram.
Is it summer? And where is your Instagram if someone made it this far?
If they're listening, it's at Cartoons by Hilary. It's Hilary with one L is always the caveat there.
Gotcha.
Or if you just look my name up. If you can get through that long name of mine. But yeah, I'm that, and what am I doing? You know, I'm here.
Yeah. You know what I like? You're like water. You just float down the river.
Well, I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, so is my daughter.
Wow, it's all coming together.
Exactly. She's a little bit more fixed, but...
No, I wasn't like this, by the way, when I was 16.
Right? Yeah. But I like that you are now.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just what life does.
Yeah.
And you might have that appearance, but I also know that you're super ambitious underneath.
Thank you.
You get a lot of stuff done. Even if you don't want to be productive.
I know.
You're working
You gotta do it. I know. People are always like, how do you do so much? I go, because I need to pay my rent.
You work super hard.
Why do you think I'm doing anything?
Yeah.
I have to pay my rent in New York.
Yeah.
It's
in Brooklyn.
expensive. Well, it's no different than Sonoma.
Do you
probably.
sublet?
Yeah, I actually have my friend's little sister staying in my place while I'm here. But I did give her a discount. I want everyone to know. I was such a kind sister friend.
Nice. Gosh. Wish I had a Hilary when I was back there.
Me too.
I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you.
And when are you going back?
Probably end of this month.
Okay. It's July, folks. And this will be coming out towards the end of July.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this before the 22nd, either way, follow Hilary or Sonoma Community Center. You're always coming back and visiting.
I am.
Are we going to get you in the parade on those rollerblades?
Of course you are.
Yes.
I'm
all right.
gearing up for how much I'm going to sweat.
Yeah, exactly. Folks, it's one of the hottest days of the year, and I think we're starting to kind of fade out from the heat in the little music room.
Oh, yeah.
When this is done, we probably will have survived the 4th of July, Hilary on roller skates, us with giant puppets. Yeah, are you driving?
I'm going to be driving the van, throwing bubbles.
And bubbles, and that's your favorite part. And Takeshi is almost make it, but he'll make it through the 4th of July. He's a river boy now. So, anyway, happy summer. Thanks, Hilary.
Thank you.
Thank you.